State of protest.
Publius Claudius Pulcher was a Roman consul who fought in the First Punic War. Setting out with a fleet of ships to try to surprise the Carthaginian admiral and his fleet, Pulcher had the advantage of surprise. However, his inadequate leadership left the fleet trapped in the harbor, and it suffered the worst naval defeat in that war, losing at least 93 ships. The surviving ships ended up shipwrecked, and Pulcher was later tried for incompetence and heavily fined. Historians and naval battle experts could toil for years over what went wrong with what should have been an easy Roman victory. However, there's no need. We already have all of the answers. And, of course, they're the same answers to all of our questions. Which then prompts the question, why do we even bother? The real reason Pulcher was defeated so severely was that prior to the battle, Pulcher consulted with the sacred chickens, and he didn't like the response. According to Roman tradition, caged sacred chickens were to be examined prior to a battle to determine the will of the gods. If the chickens ate offered feed, the gods favored the battle. If they didn't eat, going into battle would be a pretty bad idea. Pulcher's chickens did not eat. Pulcher, angered by the sacred chickens, hurled their cages, chickens and all, into the sea, yelling, "If they won't eat, let them drink." Pulcher was fined specifically because of his disrespect toward the will of the gods, and the idea that if he had only listened to the chickens, he would not have suffered the loss. This superstitious attitude did not die out with the Romans. Today, we are constantly bombarded with accusations that certain events would not have occurred were it not for our alleged disobedience of divine command. This is done with varying degree, ranging from allegations that allowing homosexuality to flourish in the United States was the cause of the death and destruction of 9/11, to cubicle mates becoming irate over a co-worker not desiring to say "bless you" after someone sneezed, lest God punish the sneezer with a cold. Regardless of where the behavior falls upon the scale, it is irrational and illogical to attribute an incident to an alleged cause without linking the alleged cause and effect with more evidence than the mere observation that one happened before the other. That unsupported attribution is the post hoc, ergo propter hoc, logical fallacy, often abbreviated as post hoc. The post hoc fallacy exists when a causal conclusion is based solely on the supposed cause preceding the effect. Post hoc, in the Pulcher case, is manifest as a superstitious bias toward jumping to a conclusion based on a coincidence. All of this is examined after the fact with a seemingly righteous 20/20 hindsight perspective. It's obvious that Pulcher would have lost the battle because the chickens predicted as much. Or, more succinctly, as a result of the will of the gods being made clearly against battle, Pulcher lost the battle. One caused the other. Of course, even if the gods had favored the battle, or more specifically, if the chickens ate, Pulcher would probably still have lost, if the conditions otherwise had not changed. Some common examples of the way this fallacy is used and abused in our media and society. Sex education causes promiscuity. Video games cause children to be violent. Prayer causes anything. Lottery winning, healing, not getting caught running the red light. Anything. Going to church causes anything good to happen in one's life. Missing church causes anything bad to happen in one's life. Having a homosexual parent causes a child to become homosexual, even if it's not a biological child. Cursing causes the cursors and the listeners to be violent.
State of protest.